If the games on this rundown prove one thing, it's that vigilantism comes in all kinds of flavors: masked subterfuge, lone saboteurs, immoral detectives, figures with ethical codes which fold when the world demands. Across genres, showcased here are the 15 best vigilante games, exploring that vital tension between justice and obsession, demonstrating just how far someone will go to right the wrongs of corruption, criminality, stolen freedom, or a failed system. Batman Arkham Origins. Arkham Origins is Batman at his rawest, young, vulnerable, and inexperienced, his anger fueling his drive rather than philosophy. WB Games Montreal's stab at Rocksteady's Arkham universe is oft thought as the series' weakest, but it arguably leans into vigilante themes the heaviest, casting Bruce Wayne as a masked obsessive bent on surviving one brutal Christmas Eve as 15 deadly assassins descend on Gotham. Batman here is less of a hero, peacekeeping enforcer operating between the lines and playing by his own rules. Max Payne 2: The Fall of Max Payne. Max Payne 2 is neo-noir vigilantism distilled into a fever dream of grief, betrayal, and hard-boiled conspiracy. Working with contract killer Mona Sachs, Max operates entirely outside of legal frameworks, driven by trauma and the need to impose order through violence, even if he knows it may destroy him. Amplified by tight gunplay and a spiraling narrative, The Fall of Max Payne showcases a man too broken to stop fighting, making his vigilantic antics as compulsive as much as about seeking justice. Watch Dogs. More than swapping masks and capes for smartphones, Watch Dogs' Aiden Pierce is a vigilante rooted in anti-heroism, his revenge-driven mission delivered through hacking, surveillance, and digital subterfuge across an electronically connected Chicago. He's less about planting fists, more about swinging his intellect, orchestrating traffic pileups, and navigating restricted zones via everyday devices. Watch Dogs, as a series, reframes the vigilante fantasy for the digital age, a modern way of waging war from the shadows, controlling an entire city's infrastructure from the tap of a button. The Saboteur. The Saboteur follows Sean Devlin, once an Irish racer and car mechanic, now neck-deep in liberation efforts across a Nazi-occupied Paris during World War II. Delivering resistance through sabotage, assassination, and nocturnal raids, Sean's brand of vigilantism is built on defiance rather than lawlessness. Restoring color to reclaimed districts offers a visual metaphor for liberation, but Sean isn't a traditional hero. His fight is inevitable. When your back's against the wall in a city where no official justice exists, what other choice is there? Judgment. Blending detective work with street-level thuggery, Judgment casts Tateyuki Yagami as a lawyer-turned-vigilante investigating a string of murders within Kamurocho, Tokyo. While technically a private eye, Yagami steps outside the law when he feels official channels are too slow, tailing suspects, delivering beatdowns, cracking both skulls and conspiracies. Framed in Yakuza melodrama, which RGG studios are known for, Yagami's pursuit of truth becomes deeply personal, embodying the moral and emotional cost of vigilantism. Splinter Cell Conviction. No longer a covert operative, in Splinter Cell Conviction, Sam Fisher is transformed into a rogue force propelled by personal vengeance. With the shackles of protocol removed, Fisher wields improvised tactics through relentless aggression and to uncover the secrets regarding his daughter's hit-and-run. Getting embroiled in multi-agency conspiracies along the way, Fisher's campaign is full of grit and razor-sharp emotion. He's not saving the world anymore, but destroying the very infrastructure which dealt him injustice. Ghost of Tsushima. Shinsekai's shift from noble warrior to stealth-driven ghost in Ghost of Tsushima is a transformation born out of necessity rather than desire. In choosing between tradition and forbidden tactics, poison, fear, assassination, Gene finds himself operating outside his casual code of honor. However, the game frames his conquest not as a rebellion, but as evolution. An obligatory redefinition against the backdrop of tyrannical invasion, Jin is heroically pure no more. Instead, he must redirect his moral compass to survive. The Wolf Among Us. Cast as Bigsby Wolf in The Wolf Among Us, you're essentially a judge, jury, and executioner rolled all into one. An authority figure leaning on your own violent past. Investigating a web of mysterious murders, Bigsby sways between restraining his monstrous impulses or embracing them when justice demands throughout a choice-based noir-set narrative. The Wolf Among Us asks, is keeping the community of Fabletown safe worthy of the heavy consequences of violence? The Punisher. After his family was murdered, Frank Castle as the Punisher devotes his life to destroying criminals. Recounted through flashbacks, Castle undertakes clandestine raids, infiltrates underworld headquarters, and assassinates mob bosses, while massacring any and all who find themselves in his crosshairs. Throughout, Castle rescues legions of innocents, reframing the Punisher's motivations with a cathartic feel amidst inordinate violence and bloodshed. Dishonored. Arcane Studios' Dishonored plunges fugitive Corvo Attano into the corrupted enclosure of Dunwall, a vendetta against his accuser seeing him transform into an assassin seeking revenge out of darkness. Whether you play it as ghost-like or as a confrontational avenger, you're consistently operating outside of the law. Moral flexibility guides Dishonored's narrative, resulting in a game which shapes justice by whatever methods you choose. Ghostrunner. Fusing cyberpunk aesthetics with lightning-fast katana combat, Ghostrunner casts you as Jack, whose mission might scream rebellion against totalitarian order, but his individual antics land him firmly in vigilante territory. To dismantle a regime piece by piece, Jack slices through its composite parts with precision and determination. While Ghostrunner softens the street-level definition of vigilantism, Jack's momentum against oppression keeps the lone figure fantasy as razor-sharp as the rest of the games on this rundown. Vigilantes. Vigilantes is a turn-based tactical RPG which tasks you with cleaning a crime-ridden city block by block, recruiting allies, gathering intel, interrogating wrongdoers, and destroying criminal factions as part of the ultimate crime-fighting squad. Leaning fully into the concept of vigilantism, the game isn't about heroes. It's regular people stepping up when the systems sworn to protect them fail. It's pure street-level fantasy, waging war against overwhelming might through organization, strategy, and determination. Mad Max. Initially reluctant to help others, Max's quest for personal vengeance evolves to wiping out raiders, punishing tyrants, and carving out justice across a lawless desert. His vigilantism lived through explosive battles and vehicular brutality. It's far more feral than refined, a no-holds-barred approach to protecting the vulnerable against the powers that prey on them. Infamous Second Son. Second Son captures the friction between heroism and vigilantism through player choice. As Conduit Delson Rower, you'll rebel against state-run authority, using superpowers to liberate districts and challenge the mechanisms of control. Admittedly, the vigilante themes bleed through more clearly if you play as a hopeful protector rather than reckless anti-hero, but with the city reacting accordingly, there's an authenticity making both directions feel meaningful. Deus Ex: Human Revolution. Adam Jensen is a corporate security officer by trade, but through the events of Deus Ex: Human Revolution, he's transformed into a defiant figure, working outside legal boundaries to uncover the operations of conspiratorial organizations that law won't tackle, spanning governments, megacorps, and ideologies. While being driven by resolving his own personal tragedies, Jensen forges his own brand of justice through your choice as a player. Whether quietly, diplomatically, or through overblown chaos, Human Revolution investigates the shadowy motives behind oppressive hunger, revealing that, really, the essence of what all vigilantes fight for is the right to live with autonomy. Hey, did you know that we at Gaming Bolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.